Alright folks, thought I'd give you this quick little video. This is about the sort of Gears 5 movement and sort of their roadmap, a roadmap being their future plans for how they're going to tackle certain things, what they're planning to do, what they're thinking about doing, what they might not do. So let's take a look. Title Update 3, we adopted a new philosophy for movement, which I thought was like really good. We believe Gears is best when it feels responsive and supports a variety of playstyles and allows for greater demonstration of skill. In Gears 4, we believed that a fair and balanced game meant movement that punished people for errors. So basically, less sort of silly hyper bouncing, less, oh, I got caught, I'm just going to give him from a distance, that kind of stuff, right? They wanted sort of the launch to go well, obviously, and then tweak a load of stuff. Obviously, I don't think the launch went well, and then they've started to tweak some stuff. Phase 1, expanding the viable playstyles, this has been done. This was when they introduced the strafe, which I thought was great. They changed the walk acceleration, changed some roadie run and movement speeds, cover slip, roadie run shoot delay. It's from 0.22 seconds to 0.2. Now, honestly, I don't think there should be any delay from run and shoot, because roadie run strafing is kind of like sprint, shoot, and I don't think there should be any delay. I know 0.2 doesn't sound like a lot of sort of delay, does it? It's only 0.2 of a second, but sometimes you steam in and you definitely know you want to shoot, but you pull that trigger, he shoots first because there's no delay, you're dead, and that 0.2 that you don't get your shot off and it just feels bad. But, I can let that go, I guess, if they want to keep it with a delay. This is what they're working on, so this is phase 2, and this is, they want to remove the legacy speed boost, which will be fixed in basically the coming title 4.1. People can currently accelerate from cover to basically they're removing the up A speed boost if you're not moving. Basically, what that means is you need to have momentum. Momentum being running. If you hyper bounce, they said in the developer blog you don't have momentum. If you sit still, you don't have momentum. So the only time I think you're going to get the up A move speed boost is, and up A means take cover, push around it, is if you're running beforehand. And I think that's good. I think someone sat in cover shouldn't basically get a move speed boost when they've just been stationary. And I think that sounds good. And then the next couple seem very interesting. So they want to make the duels last longer, which has been something I've been an advocate of, because obviously I think long Nasher fights are fun. So let's read it. We've updated the Nasher to bring the gib range in and reduce close range combat. We've also increased poke damage, long range shooting basically, so you can chip away at the target as they're charging, dodging or retreating, whatever they're doing, you can land shots. This makes the Nasher more versatile and requires more timing and aiming. So for what I've been playing like 3 days now, I've had really a lot of fun with the new shotgun. You can land a couple big chunks on someone, go wide and down them from a distance. You can land 2 really big shots and 2-shot down them if you do a really nice job. You can shoot from a decent distance, keep somebody red, and then maybe pistol them down or lancer them down. And because there's a bit more poke damage, you can keep people red. And when somebody can stay red, you can obviously choose to go wide, down them, or do a variety of things rather than run in and gamble on gibbing them, which means blowing them up. Because when you go in for that gib and when you go in for that blow up, there is a chance you miss or they gib you, and they were trying to get away from that. Now that's not to say you can't blow someone up. You can run and chain one shots just fine if you get used to the range, but before, as you can see here, it's 256 to 250 to 230, sorry, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it was like a massive gib range, and now it's a lot better. So it says, given the slightly faster movement speed, this will mean that charging players will need to close the distance more to get the gib, and the defending player has more chance to defend and chip away before they get close. Because I'm sure you've always been in that position where the guy's going to come at you and you're ready for him, but because he gets an up A speed boost, or he just has a big gib range, it's going to happen, you're ready for it, but you can't react to it and you die, and that's annoying. So it says on Thursday, February the 20th, we're going to deploy further revisions to this tuning based on early feedback. I think it's been pretty good. Point blank damage was 550. Point blank damage 550 was 500. So I think that means you're going to have, for reference, a player has 600 health. Right, so I'll read it. Point blank damage 550 was 500. Poke damage 200 with a full spread was 100 damage. This makes 9 to 10 shot kills closer to 4 to 5 shot kills when at basically 10 meters. So, well, yeah, that's pretty big, isn't it? You're going to be able to really like 5 shot somebody down from a decent distance, whereas currently it's like 10 shots. And they're increasing the capacity, so you'll be less foraging for ammo. It's going from 18 to 30. The intention, so let's see what their intention is to increase the viability of multi-shot Nasher play. Point blank damage means the amount you get hit for, the amount you hit an opponent for just outside of the gib range. It's now raised to make 2-shotting more consistent. So this just basically means that if you ever so slightly out of the gib range, and you know, whether it's an accident or whether it's intentional, you don't blow them up because you've slightly misjudged it, they will take a decent amount of damage, so you can always 2-shot them down. Again, the double with a double increase of damage per pellet at long ranges, so I don't think it's going to be like Gears 2 Title Update 6 where you're just like 3-shotting people down across the map. But I think if you do have long range shotgun shells, people might naturally have their shotgun out more often. And because there's better movement, so the shotgun is out more often, and because you've got better movement, maybe you're not fighting 2 shotguns and a lancer, maybe you're fighting 3 shotguns and you can dodge and maybe trade 2 for 1. So there might be less lancers on the map because you can now shoot from a bit more distance with the shotgun in future, which sounds decent. I don't think it should ever go to Title Update 6 sort of range because that would just be obnoxious. That's Title Update 2, Title Update 6 on Gears 2. You could shoot from the length of Fuel Depot at the back to the other length of Fuel Depot. I don't think it should ever go to that range, but you know, a bit of an increase might make less lancers. Also, I personally don't like 5v5. I think the game should be 4v4 because then you just get a load less people on the map and there's less angles to cover and it's less frustrating. Also, there'd be more games because you obviously need less players to fill in a game. So it says, yeah, they've obviously buffed up the ammo because a lot of the time, like, you kill like 1 or 2 people and the thing on your mind is like, okay, I need to be really preserving my shots here because I need to find ammo. And then, so that's phase 3. We don't know when that's really going to happen. That's currently like in progress. Then phase 4. Rather than making each action punished with a delay, we want to move to a system that provides trades-offs. So that's what I've always said. I don't want one style. All the styles should be useful, but not one should be really obnoxious. So it says, instead of having a wall cancel cooldown, as we've had since Gears 4, we're going to introduce a slowdown on slides following a cancel. The more you cancel, the more the reset will slow down. The slowdown will fade off quickly. This means if you use longer slides, you'll be able to move faster and evade better. But if you cancel, you'll make yourself more of a target. This is going to take time to tune this value to feel natural. The point isn't to remove hyper bouncing, just to make a trade-off. Because I don't particularly hate hyper bouncing with any, like, you know, strong feelings or anything. But I do think it just makes the game look stupid, and all the weird animations make it really awkward to shoot somebody when they're doing that bounce, because there's no rhythm. You can't think, oh, he might go left, left, right. You're just like, you have no, you're watching him cancel, and you're just praying, basically. Yeah, and again, I just think it looks really daft, and it doesn't suit the game. So it sounds like they're trying to slow down hyper bouncing, but not to a ridiculous degree that you can't do it, which sounds good to me. Phase 5, as part of making it feel more responsive, we're reevaluating all the delays. These are in place to make network fair. However, we may have erred too much on the side of fairness and taken out some of the ways to play. We'll be reevaluating to see if we can balance this. Until we go through, we can't say exactly which timings. We will be looking at making the delays anisotropic, e.g. different in different directions. Rolling forward will have a greater shooting delay. Rolling sideways and backwards may have a different delay. That's a very interesting idea. Agree with that. Back rolling and side rolling should be used, but a forward roll is a bit... The back A is a defensive move. Rolling forward we don't think should be as powerful. Right now there's only a single number to tune, right? So yeah, that makes sense. So they're going to try and move to a system where they can tweak things, different delays. I will say though, the community need to keep up to date with all this stuff, so keep watching, like, comment, subscribe, because if they do all of these things and there's different values for every single one, people are going to get really confused as to what's happening because they just don't really read patch notes or something. They'll be tweeting at TC saying the game's broken. That sounds pretty good. So they're making it extra numbers. Oh, sorry, like extra systems they can tweak rather than just saying the roll speed. They can tweak different types of roll speed. Then you've got the second to last phase, phase 6. Once we feel the movement in Nasher's good, which I think it's getting there, it's getting pretty good, we will do another pass on the most of the secondary weapons. Snub marks a flashbang. Okay, that sounds really good. We see Gears 5 as a living game. Don't meme on them, please. Don't say dead game. We see Gears 5 as a living game. We want to keep changing it until we find the best overall game. This will mean some rough spots, but in the end, we think that the game and the players deserve it. This is what I'm saying, right? This is what I've been saying since the beginning. The balance is a process. So if in the middle of phase 4, they make it so the wall cancel is awful and you can't move, and they'll change it. If it's still ridiculous, they'll change it. They're not going to get the number right first time, so don't be spamming revert. You know, just give them good feedback when they get it. Again, this sounds good. And weapon rebalancing, I'd like to see somewhere in here map weapon tuning, because some of the maps just have way too many weapons, and some of them just have the wrong weapons on, I feel like, to make the game fun. But again, this is a long process, so some people will say this is really good, some people will say that's great, but I ain't gonna wait 6 months for all of these phases to take place. I don't know how long these phases take. It might be 2 months, it might be 6 months, it might be 10 years. I don't know, I don't have the numbers. We're just playing a guessing game. But I do know the game, for me at least, is becoming a lot more fun. That's really all I can say. It's becoming a lot more fun, and these things make sense. Again, there's probably going to be some tuning issues. One day you might load in and the shotgun is just downing you from way too strong of a distance. Then we just collate the feedback. We say, yo, it was good where it was before. I think it's nice that you're trying to increase the poke, but maybe tone it back in between the two. You know, something like that. We don't need to spam revert or anything like that. So yeah, I will say though that the balance of the game is pretty good right now, and the reason the game is quote dead isn't because of balance. It's just because of like ranking system, lack of maps, lack of fun sort of game modes. No wingman, no, you know, capture the flag-esque, you know, submission. It's more to do with those things, you know. For me personally, yeah, having different systems for the roll delay sounds great, and that intrigues me. But that isn't the reason why the game's got bad player base, because, you know, people think there should be 4 different roll figures, right? No, the game's dead for a different variety of reasons, but it is getting a lot better. So thanks for watching. I will like to say, if you do enjoy the videos and you are thinking of supporting, it's very much appreciated. Do leave a thumbs up and a comment, and turn the notifications on, because they only notify certain videos. So you're probably missing a lot of my videos. I did make a gameplay video, which I never normally do, and I tried to make it like really fun, and it's only got a few views at the moment. So if you want to tune into this one, this gameplay here, I'd very much appreciate a view and a like, because they take just as much time to do as the vlogs and the dev blogs. Just, yeah, because you have to play for a long time on stream to get the footage. So it was me and the viewers having 1v1. So if you're enjoying it, you know, smash a like and a comment. I'll see you back on Monday.